can raise the pledge of allegiance. After me, please, I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mark. For building homes for heroes. I hope this is going to be town for town, throughout all Long Island. This is the first of its kind. I want to recognize the many organizations that are here with us tonight. My colleague Susan Berlin is here tonight, collecting marketing.
Hi, good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. I want to first thank my colleague, Councilman Mark Mayoka, for putting this together. It's an incredible joint effort, and it's something that I want to commend him for bringing to the forefront here in the town, and I have pledged to him that I will support him in this endeavor and support all of you in doing what's right for our servicemen and women. So I thank each and every one of you for being here, for taking the time out of your evening to join us for this cause. And we really look forward to building homes for the residents in Huntington who have served our country, and it's the least we can do for them to make their homes accessible when they get back. So again, thank you so much, and we really appreciate you being here. And Mark, great job.
I welcome everyone who are here tonight. I am humbled to be a part of this monumental community event. I truly want to thank you all for coming to this inaugural meeting of Building Homes for Huntington Heroes. This is the first chapter of its kind in the United States. I want to recognize the many organizations and people from Huntington that are here with us tonight. We have local community members. We have the Veterans Advisory Board. We have a number of veterans with us. We also have representations from all the Huntington fire districts: Huntington, Huntington Manor, Hale Site, Melville, Northport, Centerport, Cold Spring Harbor, Comac, Dix Hills, East Northport, and Greenlawn. We also have with us the Huntington Community First Aid Squad, the Kiwanis Club, the Rotary Clubs, the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, the 4 Chambers of Commerce, Huntington, Northport, East Northport, and Melville. We also have with us the Blue Star Mothers of Long Island. We have numerous local business owners and corporations that will all make our program a success.
And I'd like to bring him up so he can say a few words.
James is still at Walter Reed. He will be there for a while. His object is to be standing when his company comes back from Afghanistan later this month. And he may be close to that. He started out with the shorties, which are make him a little under 4 feet. Now he's up to sea legs, and he's 5'8". Now he was 6'1", 6'2", and he wanted to get back there, made him the tallest in the family. Taller than his older brother, John. And he wants to reclaim that. He also would like to reclaim a lot of functionality, although it's going to take time. I do want to say a word about John. He's Army Captain, Ranger, 10th Mountain Division. He's presently in Afghanistan at 10th Mountain Division headquarters, behind the wire, where else, I don't know, that my wife could sleep. But he's doing important work there. In terms of what you're doing, it makes a lot of things possible, and quite frankly, it's good to see. One of the frustrations you have when you have loved ones putting their lives on the line is you don't get to read about it very much necessarily in the newspaper and the TV. And what James's Marines did in going in the Sangamon district was to go into a hornet's nest. It's the highest casualty area in all of Afghanistan. And they had, so far 29 killed, 170 wounded, getting close to 1 in 3 in the battalion. It's getting up to World War II Carroll type casualty rates, which is very, very high. But do you read about it? Do you see it on TV? No. And I wish you did, because there are heroes in our armed forces today that people should be looking up to and admire, because they are inspiring. And that's why I refer to my sons as the 2 of the greatest Americans I know, because I'm awed by what they do. So, in terms of what you're doing, it's a little bit of what you might say is return to those who serve and keep us safe. We have an enemy in the radical Islamists, and we're going to unfortunately have a lot of conflict, war in the future. That's the way I see it. But it's not because of anything we've done. It's because of what they are about. Death. We're about life and good things in life, about freedom. And that's what John and James have put their lives on the line to do. And so, again, I thank you.
Thank you, Phil. That was unbelievably touching and pointed, and something that we all want to find out about, and we greatly appreciate your personal story. He means a lot to us. He's a son of Huntington, James. I was always impressed with your loyalty and your family's patriotism for this country. As a survivor myself of the September 11th World Trade Center disaster, I have felt an obligation to the members of the armed services who have protected and safeguarded our liberties here and overseas. I learned in October that Platoon Commander Lieutenant James Byler was severely injured while leading his patrol in Afghanistan. And at that time, I did not know what to do. I knew it was important to do the right thing to try to help the family. So in December of last year, I was deeply touched by the throngs of people who lined up to welcome James home at the MacArthur Airport and outside his home in Huntington. At that moment, I saw how the entire community came together for a common cause to help support one of their own. Needless to say, this was a far cry from the treatment our soldiers received when they came home from the Vietnam conflict. After greeting James at the airport, I felt we needed to do more for him and others like him in the town of Huntington, so I went to research with my staff and find out what was available. After doing our research, we identified a partner, which is the Building Homes for Heroes nonprofit charitable organization. We identified them as a partner. The organization has built many homes, and it provides a wonderful opportunity to help severely injured and wounded and disabled veterans and their families, and it provides a vehicle to help our heroes. I would like to take a moment to thank 2 special people recently this past weekend, the past Saturday night, Gina and Dolan Angevine, who are parents in the town of Huntington that decided to organize a benefit concert at the Nag's Head Ale House. Last week, this was done in partnership with Building Homes for Heroes and the Blue Sky Rain Band, who I would like us to give them a special round of applause. The bar avenue was packed with people. People were coming from all over town. I wanted to thank Deborah Morris, who advertised it and published, not advertised, but mentioned it in Newsday, so it brought more people to the venue, and it really became an incredibly successful event. It was resoundingly so, and it exceeded our expectations. We raised over $15,000 in that one night. We have with us now 4 of the members of the Building Homes for Heroes. We have Andy Pujol, right here, President. Chad Gottlieb. Andrew McClure. Carolyn Pace. And Kim Levy. They were monumental in putting together the event last Saturday night, which was such a success. And I'd like to have Andy say a few words right now, and then we're going to go into a video presentation of what Building Homes for Heroes is all about. Thank you.
We're going to build 4 homes this year. One for a young man by the name of Brendan Morocco in Staten Island, who's our nation's first quadruple amputee to survive. Another for Joel Tavares in Tampa and BJ Jackson in Orlando. And now we're proud to be part of the Huntington community to help with this project as well. But I can tell you that in the last 4 years, it's going to be 10 homes, hopefully by the end of the year. And never have I seen a town councilman or anyone from the community, the political side of the community, get as involved as Councilman Mayoka. And I'd like everyone to please acknowledge it. It would make it a heck of a lot easier for us if more like him would get involved. Following the American Revolution, it was neighbors stood side by side to help build homes for one another, and especially those who returned home injured. And this is, at this moment here tonight, I think we all have an opportunity to hopefully express, perhaps lead to others, that we have a chance to leave and live a legacy of patriotism, of promise, certainly of honor. And we're just thrilled to be here tonight and happy to answer any questions afterwards that you may have. I'd like to show you a video just so you can see some of what we've done in the last 4 years. And there will be, in the video, at least 8 of the home recipients.
I'm sitting here on the walkway built between my existing house and game room, and connecting me to our current home site. We finally are under construction. They're getting ready to pour concrete next week, and thanks to groups like you guys, it's made our basic dream home possible. It's helped tremendously with our condition and recovery. And it's just fantastic to know that there's guys like you out there, and hopefully, you'll have a good, successful time this year and be able to help another family like you were able to help us. So once again, my wife and I thank you sincerely from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you.
Well, that's our house. You saw the inside first, and then or the outside first, then a tour of the inside. I'm here in my study now with all my rec equipment, and we'd just like to thank everybody for all that they've done for us. And absolutely, I'm living in my dream home, and I can't say thank you enough for what you've enabled us to do. So So thanks, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful time this year. Maybe sometime I can get up there, not this year, but hopefully sometime. Good luck, guys. Thanks.
Raising money for the Building Homes for Heroes, which build homes for the disabled vets who are coming home from the war. These vets need us. They're disabled, and it's so costly to build a home for them. And, you know, they need our help. They're not getting a lot of help from anywhere else. And there's so many of them coming back.
Is really how Building Homes for Heroes started. I was in the search and rescue in 9/11. I'll always remember the thousands of emergency workers that were there trying to save lives, valiantly trying to save lives. I eventually broke down crying and made a promise to myself that I was going to do something for my country that made a difference. And that's Building Homes for Heroes.
A lot of them, when they get back home, can't even go and get through a doorway, whether it's with a wheelchair or getting upstairs. So that's why it's really necessary for communities to come together and provide them so you can go and come back to your communities and live in it once again.
We're talking soldiers that are blind, have severe burns on 60% of their body, soldiers that are triple amputees, or those that return home most severely injured. One of the reasons we started Building Homes for Heroes was because we wanted to know the name, the faces. We wanted to know the family, their stories, their sons, their daughters, their relatives, their parents. We wanted it to be more than just giving money. We wanted it to be a story that we could live with for the rest of our lives.
Coming out tonight to support me and the rest of the guys down here at Walter Reed. Thank you.
Soldier, a hero who was severely injured, but now he's getting a new home. Joel Tavera and Building Homes for Heroes program are what's right with Tampa Bay.
There aren't that many, but yes, I will.
Room to room he goes. He can't see it, but he knows this place is special.
There's a chair right in front of you.
It's a new home just like the one Joel Tavera is getting built.
Last 3 years I've been moving from place to place, surgery after surgery. Finally, at the end of the day, I know I'll have a home of my own. I'm very thankful.
Going from carpet to tile.
To realize how important this home will be to Joel, you have to understand what he's been through. On March 11, 2008, Joel, just 19 years old at the time, was in Iraq, 2 days away from returning home to the U.S. when his Humvee was attacked.
We had a whole bunch of rockets coming to camp that day. Actually, it was that morning. The second rocket to hit the camp hit my truck.
3 of Joel's colleagues were killed in that attack. He almost died. He lost his sight, his right leg. He suffered serious head trauma and critical burns. He was flown home to recover, and his parents were told to expect the worst. They have not left his side since he came home.
Your corner lot, you got huge oak trees in the backyard, man.
Now Joel and his parents are getting a new home built on this land. Jeff Thorson is with William Ryan Homes. They are building the home for Joel.
I don't know how anybody in their right mind wouldn't think that the right thing to do would be to get involved in something just like this.
All right, match my pink.
Building this home has really been a team effort. There's William Ryan Homes and firefighters helping too.
Joel is a true American hero, and he sacrificed a lot for his country and for us, and we jump at the opportunity to be able to return some of that to him.
The firefighters want to do what they can because Joel was a volunteer firefighter in North Carolina before he left for Iraq. Now he is an American hero, surrounded by a team of people who care. He is a hero, deserves anything that we can give him. And tell you what, and that's and his parents. I mean, think about what they're doing. They've given up their jobs to take care of him.
They've had to sacrifice, sir.
And what a great attitude he has too.
Positive attitude gets you a lot of things.
My greatest fear was that we're going to bring him to this house where there's stairs up and stairs down, and we're going to stick him in a back room, and he's going to be playing video games for the rest of his life. And this is a kid who's He's just a proud, amazing kid. He doesn't deserve that. This will be Chris's private.
His sister looked for help and found a group called Building Homes for Heroes.
This is just for a couple of people together.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Here you go, soldier.
Thank you. You're all so amazing. Y'all stay for as long as you want.
For a long time, it hasn't felt like a whole family because Chris hasn't really been here. He's been serving our country for a long time. So at special occasions, he hasn't been there, and there's a little hole in our heart. But now that he's back, that portion of our heart is filled again, and we know that no matter what happens in the future, good times or bad, we'll all be together one way or another, and that's a very special feeling.
I think Phil said it best. Most of us really don't know what these heroes go through, but I think you can see in the video tonight what heroes like James Byler is going through now, and the meaning of what this meeting means, not only to him in helping reconstruct their home or make the home adaptive, but to just from a community standpoint, coming together as a community. It's something that I think our forefathers would be proud, would make our forefathers proud, and certainly our children. Phil, honored to see you. I've been to Brooke Army Hospital, Walter Reed, Bethesda, Tampa Polytrauma Center on many occasions, and I'll never know what you and Janet are going through, and John, but I know that this wonderful town is here with you, and I'm with you, and wish you the best always, and I know it's a long road ahead. But they are heroes. I'd like to, also the Blue Star Mothers, did I get that right? I'm always honored to be in your presence. I'd like to turn this back to Councilman Mayoka.
Thank you. I'm absolutely touched by these stories of triumph over odds, and it really makes me want to get more people involved with this program and get more of the community involved. I want you to all to take this message back to your own organizations of how you can help and how you can participate and how you can help these heroes regain their own pride and go forward in life and rebuild their lives. We welcome your participation in the many fundraising events that we're going to have. And you can all be a part of that, and we want you to be part of the process, and we welcome you in that role. Just to let you know the types of fundraising events we're going to have. We're going to have concerts. We're going to have golf outings. We're going to have car washes. We're going to have a 5K race. We're going to have an athletic tournament. In fact, someone's already volunteered to have a boxing match, so we're going to have that. We're going to be distributing donation boxes in the different businesses throughout the entire town, Northport, East Northport, Cold Spring Harbor, and Huntington Village. And I'm inviting the 4 chambers of commerce to really roll up their sleeves and be a part of this. We are really not just here to build the Bylers their home. We are here to help them rebuild their lives. I ask you of all to do the same, to take away with you the duty to make this a resounding success and to show why Huntington is truly such a special place to live. Please take a flyer home with you. Sign up with us with our fundraising endeavors. We look forward to hearing from you. God bless our troops, and God bless the town of Huntington. Thank you. Now, what we're going to have is we're going to have committee men, which are already pre-assigned. The committee men are going to be on different separate endeavors, which one will be obviously different charitable events such as the golf outing, the concert, and we will have other committee men responsible for accumulating labor. So we're going to have those sign-up sheets in the back, and whatever task you want to participate in, whether it's a golf outing, whether it's a concert, whether it's a car wash, or whether it's the 5K race, please do so, and we will then meet separately in the different committees, and the town of Huntington will support these events as best we can to make sure that they're a success. Again, thank you. If anybody has anything they want to say, please come up. You know, if anyone has any suggestions, I welcome your comments. No? Okay, well, thank you for participating. Oh, thank you. We also have Kevin O'Neill here from the Ingerman Theater. Would you like to say a few words, Kevin?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Kevin O'Neill. I own, some of you might be aware of the theater in Northport. It's like a Broadway Playhouse thing that my wife and I bought a number of years back, going back to '06. You know, my interest certainly in something like this is multifaceted. The theater's named the John Ingerman Theater in Northport because at the time when we were thinking about buying it, my brother-in-law, my wife's brother, was killed in Iraq on May 14th of '06. And just at the time when we were really considering going forward with it, and we said, you know what, he's an East Northport guy. I'm on Huntington. My wife grew up in East Northport. I grew up in Huntington. We've been here forever. And we just said, we'll buy it, you know, do it right, and we're going to, along the way, we're going to fund organizations in John's name that that do good for whether it's the community or certainly any kind of military attachment. We'd be behind in a big way. So thus far, we've helped raise over $500,000 for various causes in the last 3.5 years, and you know, we're going to continue to grow. But this is something that I can do very easy in terms of the way we can make something happen. We have events, we have our shows all the time, and then we have these big concerts and stuff. But I think there's, you know, I know Phil Byler, you know, for many years on the board of Huntington Tri-Village Little League. You know, our heart goes out to you and your family. But I know we could do something really good. So. I know I can also rally a lot of corporate to get behind this, okay? As the gentleman said in the video, you know, you got to be kidding me if you're not going to get involved in this. So I think we could really launch something. I'm at the disposal of everybody in terms of what you want us to do. We know how to make things happen pretty quickly and very efficiently at the theater. I guess some of the questions I would have had is the goal to get a number that we're shooting to raise, and then some kind of a schedule of how we're going to go forth making that happen. So it's structured and people can see. But I really would just be curious about your experience in the past and how you've done it, because this will happen. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. Kevin has a good point. We're trying to figure out what kind of a preliminary goal we have, and our first goal, I think we want to try to raise $300,000. So we're at $17,000. We have quite a ways to go, and I'm confident we're going to get there. And I want to thank you all, and if anyone else has anything to say, please.
My name is Tim Scherer. I'm a Gold Star dad. I lost my son in Iraq 21 July of '07. And we've met the Bylers, you know, through our personal experiences. But although we are not part of what you're doing, we are all the same common goal. Our Leave No Marine Behind project this year is Lieutenant James Byler. Last year, we were able to raise $15,000 in 9 days. We sold raffle tickets to a Jets Patriot game that was given to us, and we politely declined. We asked could we raffle it instead. On Memorial Day weekend, Saturday morning, May 28th, we have a race in East Northport called I Did the Grid, the streets of where Chris grew up on. There's 31 turns in the race. It's a 4-mile race. We will be raising quite a bit of money for the family here, and we're on the same cause. So anything you can do to help that, I said, although it's not part of yours, it's still going to the same family. So anybody you can rally for that weekend, and at Elijah Churchill's that night is Purple Heart Weekend. Again, we will be having a raffle specifically. All of the proceeds will be going. Our goal is between $15,000 and $25,000 for the family, and I'm confident we'll make it in 2011. All right, so any help that you can give us also, because we're all here, we're all in this together, okay?
Thank you. I see Ray Moskalo is here. Would you like to come down and say a few words of your boxing event that he just spoke with me earlier today? He's got a wonderful idea I think he'd like to share with us.
Well, we've run a few boxing events with the NYPD and the fire department, so I'm hoping to get that set up. It's just a matter of figuring out what's a large enough venue, because I'm figuring about 500 to 1,000 people will show up to it. We've had 2 or 3 of them out here in the past year, and it's a good fundraiser.
Thank you. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to add? Jim?
Excuse me. I'm a little late tonight, but I've had an incredible experience. I'm a retired New York City Fire Department lieutenant. I've been retired 8 years now. I spent 32 years on the New York City Fire Department with incredible experience until 911. After that, we've been very busy taking care of everybody that's been hurt in so many ways. But a year and a half ago, I had an incredible experience of meeting Andy Peugeot for Building Homes for Heroes. We were doing a fundraiser for Patty Brown, who was a very decorated fire officer that was killed in 911. And since then, we've had a great experience in raising money and doing the right thing for what's good for America, and just driving the cause. We've got, they've done 9 homes so far, and now I haven't met Mr. Byler yet, but I'm looking forward to that. And I just want to say that the New York City Fire Department is very thankful for everything that you guys do. Some of you might be firefighters sitting out there, I don't know, but let's rally the cause. My job is to get the fire department to help us out, to help these this team here. They got 4 or 5 guys here that Carolyn, Andrew, Chad, they do incredible work. They work. Every time I go there, I feel like I'm stopping them. They never take their eyes off the computer screens. They're always working on the phones. I feel like when I stop by there, I'm stopping progress. So again, to Andy and his team, and to the town of Huntington for stepping up and do this, God bless you all.
Thank you very much. Well, I guess that will conclude our inaugural meeting. I want to thank you all for coming, and let's make that goal, and let's get to it sooner rather than later. Thank you.